Yeah, true. But at the same time, it's just going to make what James Gunn's doing even harder for him.
That's what happens.
Like, that is what happens. You're right. Just
sorry, I have no sympathy for that.
No, I don't blame you at all. It's just going to be a really big uphill battle for him to get his universe.
They started with a very big, they really shot themselves in the foot with that.
100% shot themselves in the foot with that shit.
Yeah.
Indeed. And speaking of shooting themselves in the foot, let's start the show. Howdy, everybody. We actually got Brad coming in here last second, joining us right on time.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Brad? We're just kicking things started, episode 156 of the 4Nerds. And actually, I was looking at the YouTube studio today. This is actually the birthday of this channel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
It's like 4 years old, because I had a previous one and this one. So, wow. Happy birthday to the 4Nerds Network. Woohoo.
Nice.
And Andre and Ryan are gone.
Well, it's also my dad's birthday today, so I mean, maybe that like carry, the fact that I'm here kind of, compensates for that. I don't know.
I'd say that's almost as important.
Okay.
Birthday, Brad's dad.
Happy birthday to Brad's dad. What's your dad's name? Well, I guess that's probably
Tom. His name's Tom.
Tom. Happy birthday, Tom.
There we go.
I don't know if he's listening, but anyway, happy birthday to him. And like I said, we got Andre and Ryan. They're out on assignment, I guess is the technical term we'll use. So they're not joining us today.
Don't lie to the audience. One's sick, the other one's moving shit with his family.
I said out on assignment. I said technical term, meaning not literal, Phil.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, and I am somewhat, as I mentioned to Dawson a few hours ago, it's like I am just getting over. I'm pretty much back to normal, but I'm just getting over like a throat bug that attacked me like 2 nights ago. So if I sound slightly raspy, that's mostly why. But
Well, see, you got a good radio voice with the raspiness. I dig it.
Oh, thanks, man.
But yes, we got Allie and Brad filling in their place today. We appreciate you guys coming on sort of last minute, talking with us today. We got a lot of things to talk about, and Phil mentioned in our group text with Andre and Ryan, a lot of trailers dropped in the last couple days.
Yes.
We'll watch through some of those, not those. Watch through some of those, give our reactions, give our takes. But real quick, want to give a shout out to those who are in the chat right now. We got Anthony Beltray saying hello. It's Trash Man. What's up, Trash Man? And we got Nava Joe saying let's go. What's up, man? We got Nerd Cosa Nostra. So what's up, crew? Hope everyone is doing well. I am doing well. Actually, I had a table event today at my local, I guess it's like an eatery / cafe that I have like every week. But that was fun. Sat down a lot today. So, yeah. I needed to stand up a little bit and move. And now I'm here. Let's see. We got Droga saying what up, Dawson, Phil, Super Beehive, and Brad. Super Beehive. Do you prefer that, Allie? Or
it doesn't bother me.
You're supposed to react more. Okay. Play it up.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, I use the name Hive, so it doesn't surprise me when people throw that in there.
And we got Christopher Bouchard saying, hello, Dawson, Phil, Brad, and Allie. What is up? We got Hunter Iggy saying, DC United, what's up? Saying, Dawson Wiedrich going full name here. Nice.
Your government name.
Not using the middle name at least. We got Lewis saying, hello, everyone, what's up? We got Cortez here saying, what's up, everyone? Dawson, it's so weird to see without a hat. I know my hair, when it gets long, it's very thick, so none of my hats fit me anymore. So that's the problem. I need to get that cut. Now we got individual hellos. What's up, Dawson? What's up, Brad? What's up, Phil? What's up, Allie? Hunter Iggy here saying, Dawson Wiedrich, have you seen Suicide Squad Isekai? Is that
Seki? I think
someone sent me that.
Yeah, is that the video game that's coming up?
No, that's Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and that's a waste of time. Seki is the anime that they made.
Anime, yeah. Someone sent me that.
I haven't seen the new trailer for it yet. I think there's a trailer for it out now. Like a full-on trailer for it.
Yeah, I saw something about it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, it was kind of news to me too.
Yeah, it's like another Suicide Squad thing, really.
Yeah. Well, on top of Suicide Squad, apparently really doing gangbusters on Netflix now that it's been all the DC movies that have been added. And Black Adam apparently is also. Of course, we're waiting on Man of Steel and BVS to join the top 10. Everybody.
Yeah, I think Suicide Squad was number 6 on Netflix last.
Yeah, and David Ayer, I mean, he's you can see from his Twitter he's really enjoying. Even though he's still want to get his cut out there, he is enjoying the the love that it's getting. So that's I'm sure. That's glad to see. It's very gratifying for him. Yeah,
it's ironic. I saw that Suicide Squad was trending, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Birds of Prey. I'm dead serious. I watched Birds of Prey last night on Netflix because I just haven't seen that movie in a while, and I love it. Except one thing in that movie I do not love, and that's Rosie Perez, because I think she was completely miscast as Renee Montoya. Other than that, though, the movie's fantastic in my opinion. And damn it, Ryan's not here to give me shit for it.
See, I was about to say that. I was about to say you can freely speak about Birds of Prey without becoming a half-hour-long conversation about is it a good movie or is it a bad movie.
True.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. You're safe, Phil. Not that you're ever in danger. We got Chris here saying, hello, Dawson, Phil, Brad, and Allie. We got also William Powell saying, ditch the dude in the lower left corner. Trust me.
What did I do?
You're here and not there. That's what you did.
Yeah.
We'll be back on probably a few hours here, guys, breaking all this good stuff down.
Awesome. Yeah. Droga said, I just cut my hair. That's great. No
I realized myself coming on. It's like, I don't think I've ever seen Dawson without a hat on. So it's like, yeah, what your dude. It's. I wouldn't say it's like quite like Ace Ventura territory, but when you have a hat on for this long, it's kind of like it has the same effect.
Dawson's like, I don't.
That is so much better than what I was gonna say.
Oh, really?
All right. What were you gonna say, Phil? Let's know. Come on.
You have to say it now that you said that. You put it out there.
I was just gonna say he kind of looks like Paul Dano as the Riddler from.
Oh,
you know what? I'll take it.
I
can see it actually. I can see it.
I mean, I've gotten the comparison since the trailer for the Batman came out, so I'm not mad. Chris says, almost time for Rebel Moon. That is indeed true.
Oh, yeah.
Got some Rebel Moon stuff to talk about today. Had a big old showing at CCXP and getting a lot of hype. In fact, I saw that there is a Times Square digital billboard.
That 3D thing.
Yeah, William, awesome. William and I were talking about that last night, and it's really just cool to see how much Netflix is really just going all out with all the marketing for it. I mean, I don't think I've seen there's a TV spot that's circulating on social media about it. I don't think, to my knowledge, I've seen as far as like a Netflix original movie or show. I don't think I've ever seen them do like a TV spot for anything. So that really, indicates just how invested they are in it.
Yeah. I know.
They're doing a lot.
Yeah, with the 3D billboard, I think they did that for Resident Evil a while back and a couple other things. But, like you said, Netflix is going all out on it, and for good reason they should. And then, of course, you got the comic book that's coming out. I already have the novelization on pre-order. I think that's going to be coming in like the day after Christmas. I actually won't be here to pick it up, which sucks. But, they got a lot of stuff. And I saw also that Scott McClellan had shared some things that
I saw that too.
Walmart, like the popcorn buckets, the mugs, and everything. Like, I need to run by Walmart and pick up some.
Oh wait, I didn't see that because I'm not.
No, I didn't know that either.
Scott. Well, he probably shared on Vero too. I think.
Oh, he might have.
Yeah,
you're right.
No, he's been sharing a lot of good stuff. In fact, today I ordered there's a very plain like Rebel Moon with like a little part of like a crescent moon on the side. Very simple print. I got a red shirt of that today that I ordered. So that'll be one I wear on streams and such. We got Matt saying BOP is DW. I'm here though. He's filling in Ryan's spot. Oh man, Droga talking about Cassandra Cain. Hunter, we'll go past that since Phil's already got enough crap for that. Hunter Iggy says Dawson, which reminds me of Josh Giddey, Regret stepbrother, or is he Josh Giddey? Josh Giddey. Which one is he?
Over my head.
Which one is he?
I don't remember who Josh Giddey is. Hold on. Yeah, I have to know this because I'm being compared to him. I might as well know if it's a good or a bad thing.
Now, you guys are never going to believe this, who I've been compared to. Like, and this goes back to high school, the guy, again, I'm still working through my camera phobia. I hope to get through that that's kind of my New Year's resolution. But, the guy you see right now in my spot is like, you're never going to believe like who I've been compared my appearance to. It's like, go ahead, just take a wild guess. Like, this is back as far as high school. Who do you think people told me I look like?
I ain't gonna guess shit, bud.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
Steven Seagal.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, it's like Yeah, I can understand it. I'm not gonna say I see it, but I can understand it. That's
back when I was 17, he used to tell me in high school I looked like Steven Seagal, and that was back when he had something resembling a career. So
yeah, when I was 20, this had been 6 years ago. I was
young.
I was young, but I was like I'm like tall, and I was like in really good shape back then. And again, it was a couple years ago. But I was setting up some equipment at work, and this little kid walked by, and his mom was actually a friend of mine's sister. And so the kid goes up to her and like whispers something in her ear, and the girl just laughs at me. And my friend goes over and is like, "That little kid just said that guy looks like Batman," because I was wearing a suit at work and I had like shorter hair, and I was like, not Christian Bale, not Ben Affleck, not anyone specific, but Batman. And I was like, you know what? I'll take that.
So you've gotten Batman and the Riddler tonight on the same stream.
There you go. And again, I'm all fine with taking that. Chris says I have to say the Godzilla -1 movie was awesome. I still haven't seen it yet, but I've heard really great things.
Me neither. But yes, I've seen a lot of good feedback for that movie.
Oh well, you guys have someone on here tonight who has seen it. So when we get to that topic, I could definitely share my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Sweet. An exclusive rewiew from Brad. We got RJ here saying hola, what is up? We got Lewis saying, speaking of Godzilla, I'm rewatching Godzilla 2014. Man, the scale and tone is so good. I remember really liking that movie and just how it approached the whole monster aspect of it, which is
I didn't watch Godzilla, but I did recently rewatch Kong Skull Island, and my God, phenomenal movie. I love that movie to death.
Yeah.
Like I remember being brought back in the theater when I watched it. I was just like, damn, this is just so good.
I remember
like that one.
I remember like Godzilla 2014 when he's talking about the moment that really kind of solidified it for me is when those soldiers are making the skydive, to deactivate the bomb, and they'll have to have like that trail of smoke behind them so they keep track of each other, and they're just, the atmosphere of that is just so chilling. I mean, they're falling like within feet of Godzilla's jaws as he's fighting the Mutos. So that's just such a great moment.
I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island. I remember because I really liked the 2007 movie. And so going into Kong Skull Island, I was like, well, how's this going to compare? And it still was freaking awesome. There's just different takes on it. We also got RJ saying, how's everyone doing tonight? Doing great. Great. Was at a table all day drawing and all that good stuff. How about the rest of you guys? How's your guys' day been?
I was at work.
Better than I was 2 days ago when I was just coughing and hacking stuff up. And
I'm glad you're not doing that now. Let's see. And then Allie, your day, how's it been?
Oh, good. Yeah, thank you. Been pretty good.
Let's see here. RJ says, I was happy to hear they're extending Godzilla -1's release in theaters. Going to try to go see it this weekend if I can. Yeah, I saw that too, because it's, I don't know the numbers of how it's doing, but I know it's getting really good reviews just from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that it made back its opening weekend $11 million on a $15 million budget. So that's already boding well. I know it made
$50 million or 15 million?
15 million.
That is insane that they got what they got out of this for 50. I mean, it's yen to dollars, obviously, but still, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I can't fathom like how they pulled that off. Oh, yeah.
So I actually saw I saw a post, or it was at a TikTok the other day, where they talked about the budget for Godzilla -1. They talked about all these like Marvel movie budgets, and someone had stitched the video saying, yeah, no, Marvel movies are just a money laundering scam, which like you could easily make that argument with, with how you get $15 million and you get Godzilla -1 with how good it looks. And then you have the recent Marvel stuff, which is not impressive visually in any way. So, I mean, I'm not going to say I believe that theory, but it sounds more and more compelling by the day. I'll just say it that way. But
I mean, I did watch the Marvels the weekend of Thanksgiving, and I can't agree or disagree. It's really tough to say because, like, I feel like that movie specifically is getting a lot of unfair criticism thrown its way for very obvious reasons. But at the same time, there's also things in that movie where I'm like, did the budget really justify this? I don't think so.
Because it was one of the most expensive Marvel movies, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like,
and one of the shortest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that movie was hacked to death in the editing.
They're already ending the theatrical run. Like that's pretty wild to me.
Yeah, and it hasn't even cleared 200 million worldwide yet. I feel the worst in all of it for Iman Vellani because she is by far the best thing about the Marvels. I mean, she is so into this character. She reminds me actually a lot of Ezra Miller as the Flash, in the sense that they're both they're both like real life, fans of their characters, and they're playing characters who are like massive geeks, massive fans of superheroes, and they get to join teams. They get to like live the ultimate fanboy or fangirl dream. So I would liken her a lot to her performance really to Ezra as the Flash, and that's why I feel the worst for her in all of this, because I hope that her MCU future brings greener pastures. Pardon the pun, but it is very unfortunate because she really does carry this movie.
Yeah, I still haven't been able to see it, but her part in the movie was the only thing that really had me like, okay, let's see how she does, because everything else, like I don't hate Brie Larson, I don't hate, I forget the actress name who plays
Teyonah Parris.
Yeah, Teyonah Parris. I don't hate either of them, but I feel like Ilmana, just like I was more interested in see what she was gonna do. Be out to watch when it gets on Disney Plus. But yeah, it's like you said, it's unfortunate. Like, from what I've heard about the Marvels, is that it's kind of like what RJ is saying down the chat here, that it's not bad, but it's not great. It's kind of just in that perfect mid area where
it's mid.
It's mid.
Having seen it, I ranked it higher than the first Captain Marvel movie. I think overall in my MCU ranking, it's 23 of 43 of their overall projects. So I mean, it is in that middle category, and even the post credit scene is actually pretty fucking cool. If I'm being brutally honest.
See, I did see that, and that did look pretty cool.
It is, and I mean, you can tell it was done very last minute, and certain things about it feel very noticeable. But even still, just the overall idea of what they're getting at is like, oh, this is great. This is what we're leading to, and yet the movie is just fucking straight up bombing. So it is what it is. But even still, like, I feel like at the end of the day, it does kind of fall into that upper mid category of Marvel films. Maybe just even in the middle of the road. Like, if you want a middle of the road description, it's that film. Like, The Marvels is probably the middle of the road that Marvel Studios has done in a long while. But even like I've been saying since before the movie came out, I was like, there's no fucking way it can be worse than Thor: Love and Thunder. And it was.
Anybody who tells you it is just. I don't know. I don't even know how to write.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know if it could get worse than that.
If you tell me your least favorite thing in the MCU right now is Secret Invasion, I can wholeheartedly understand that too.
Fair.
Yeah, I did not like that show. I'm sorry.
Fair.
Yeah, the last episode.
Let's put it this way. Christian Bale as a villain could not save Thor: Love and Thunder. That's how bad that piece of garbage is.
Well, he's in a completely different movie from everybody else too. I mean, that's true about him in Love and Thunder is that it's like anybody who has seen the Marvels or like has seen Thor: Love and Thunder, seen the Marvels, and tells you that the Marvels is the worst of the two. They're not operating out of any kind of logical framework there. It's just not.
I mean, to Dawson's point, like Christian Bale couldn't save that movie. Natalie Portman definitely couldn't save that movie. Not to say that she was bad in it. It's just they are the two best things in that movie, and yet the good does not outweigh the bad whatsoever.
No, not even close. Not even close. I still remember because I saw it with my little brother. I still remember the scene where, Jane. It shows her backstory of like talking with her mom, and there's a side swipe of all of a sudden her at her mother's bedside when she has cancer, and the way that the transition happened, like you could tell it wasn't supposed to be funny, but it somehow came across as funny, and I felt bad for laughing just because the editing was so poorly done for the tone that scene was supposed to have. That's the only time that I laughed, and it was a scene that I wasn't supposed to laugh at.
Man,
Did I forget to mute myself?
Take away.
No, you're good.
No,
a second ago when I was talking to my daughter, was I?
No, you're good.
No,
you were.
no.
You're
Oh, okay. I was like, I might have done it fast, so I didn't notice.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
No, it's like my dog is like popping up next to me, wanting to get love, and like
he wants to say hello.
Well, he's under this impression because he wants to sniff the side of my headset. He thinks there's treats inside of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since we're on the subject of Marvel, we can go ahead and talk about Deadpool 3 had some images released this past week, or I guess leaked. I don't know if we want to really show them here or Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, well, Ryan Reynolds was kind of he was a little bit like, because he put out a statement about that. So I think probably like respecting his wishes, probably best not to.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just say that did happen. There were some things that were shown that hinted at other Marvel characters, and we're not going to specify as to who, because again, we want to make sure that, surprises are hard to come by in modern day, like cinematic universe movie making. And so that's the frustrating thing, is that you can tell there's gonna be a lot of surprises in this movie, but already several of them have been spoiled. And it's like, why are we doing this? And so that's the frustrating thing, especially about big cinema. And that's the thing too, is that you want to see more practical sets, filming outside and get more realistic look to things. When it's a big budget movie like this, and you have people that live around these areas, they're going to find a way to get photos and then leak them out to the public. And so then the studios are incentivized to film inside, in front of a green screen, inside the studio. And so it's like, well, it's a catch-22 type of thing.
Is this thing on?
That's
this
true.
thing is on. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, we can hear you, Phil.
Now listen here, pumpkin fuckers. I am sick to death of people leaking my new movie with my good pal, Wolverine. You guys know who you are. You know damn good and well who you are. We don't need our surprises leaked. This is not okay. We're trying to make something beautiful and special here, and yet you've got people out there sharing images willy-nilly, nimbly-bimbly, all out there for the world to see when we are trying to contain our surprises. Shame on you, people. Shame on you. Bad people. This is not okay. We want to preserve our surprises. We want everyone to go see this movie, and we want everyone to laugh their collective asses off when we tentatively decide to kill the Fox Marvel universe. Oh shit, did I just spoil something about the movie?
I mean, that was pretty obvious.
I mean, hey, the photo did show the 20th Century Fox logo, so what can we all assume? Right. But just so you all know, there is a picture of me out there with my new pal, Dogpool. That's right, everybody. Dogpool's going to be in Deadpool 3 for your viewing pleasure. You heard it, chucklefuck. You heard it here. I'm the first one to tell you. Duh. You're getting it straight from the merc with the mouth. Haha, 14 walls, 16 walls, 16 walls. There we go.
Well, so tell me, Wade, is Baraka Pool also going to be making a comeback?
Get out. Get out right now. We don't talk about that. We let it be. And I went back in time to rectify that shit for a reason in my second movie. You hear me? Good. No. Baraka Pool will not be in Deadpool 3. And if it is, it's way above my head. It's probably a decision from good old Mr. Feige.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
It is going to be funny to see, like, you mentioned that 20th Century Fox logo. Like, are we going to see that? What I hope they do is I hope they open up with the 20th Century Fox logo, the way they usually used to open those movies, and then it just comes like falling down,
crashing,
and that's where things start.
That would be cool.
That'd be hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not in the editing room, so we'll see how that goes.
No, you're not. Thank goodness.
All right. But was there any other thoughts anyone had about the Deadpool images that were released? Again, we don't want to like spoil anything, but like,
well, I had the benefit. I haven't actually seen them. I just knew there was a leak, so I'm yeah. So
let me put it to you this way: any more leaks happen, some heads are gonna roll, and I'm not talking about the ones from the photos. You hear me, Mr. Weintraub? You get there and you ask Jennifer Garner any more questions, it's your head on a pike, buddy. You might want to remember that.
A lot of stuff has come out from that movie, though. Yeah, a lot of stuff has come out from that movie, pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Blind Al needs her Coke. I'll see you guys later. It was nice chatting with you.
See ya, Phil Poole. Appreciate his presence here. But yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of stuff's coming out about it. I hope a lot of the surprises continue to be preserved, or at least preserved than they have been. That way, people don't. Because like the thing for me is like, was it exciting having? Yeah, he disappeared for a while. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. We had this guy Wade drop in for a couple of minutes, but
fucking Deadpool. God damn it! I always miss him. I always miss him every time. God.
You guys are never in the same room together. Also, I wonder why that is.
I wonder why.
Same reason why Batman and I are never in the same room. But Yeah, no, I'm just excited to see what all surprises they have in this movie. I'm excited to see all the different throwbacks because clearly they're going for like not necessarily a cameo fest, but a lot of sort of just nostalgia stuff and playing on that. And I'm sure they're going to mock a lot of the reliance on nostalgia that movies have had recently. Yeah. But the thing that I was actually going to say is that going into, like, for instance, No Way Home, movie was still exciting, but everybody knew the excitement about it.
Oh, it was such an open secret that Toby and Andrew were going to be in it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew denying it up and down in the press tour. It's like we were all looking at, like, we all know. Yeah. We all know. Okay.
And like that was still exciting, but it kind of took away what would have been like a oh crap moment. Like that just happened.
That's
so
true.
Hopefully we have some of that in Deadpool 3.
Is anyone really going to be surprised to see Taylor Swift pop up in this movie? Because I won't be.
She's been making me mad all year.
Go off, Allie. Go off.
Yes, please.
Get it. I don't
not
get
a
it.
Swiftie?
I'm sorry. I'm not a hater. I think she's one of the most overrated musicians. I'm sorry. Just think she's overrated. I'm sorry.
One of my older sisters is a diehard Swiftie, so like I hear about it a lot.
I don't hate her. I'm like, oh hey.
You're just over it.
Yes.
And as a football fan, I kind of feel you there because every time the Kansas City Chiefs play,
I feel bad
every time
for
they make
Chiefs
a play
because they're like, there's videos and stuff on the internet.
Wait,
Allie,
Allie, sorry, I will let you finish. But Wade just had the best cameo on the 4Nerds of all time.
And I missed it.
Exactly. I was just
that's a good reference, Brad. That was a good reference.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, my head. It's like I had to dive on that one.
It's like every time Travis Kelce makes a catch, it's like cut to Taylor Swift and what is she doing? How is she reacting? It's like, okay, like as a football fan, I want to see what's happening on the field. Like I'm studying the game. I commentate this for a living. I want to know what's going on. So yeah, I feel you there. But yeah, if she appears in this movie, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd roll my eyes a bit. My little sister would just trot to the theater right afterwards to see it because she's pretty crazy about Taylor Swift. But anyway,
yeah, I was talking with my editors too recently about about Deadpool 3, and he said they're probably actually, because of the delays, they are probably actually going to put multiple strike jokes into it.
Probably.
Oh wow.
I'd be shocked if they didn't.
I mean, like Ryan Reynolds is completely free to ad-lib now, so yeah, wouldn't at all shock me.
I would be surprised if Deadpool says, this joke might not come across as well as it should, but that's because the writers were on strike at the time we wrote this joke. Oh, man. Or say, like, see, that joke landed really well because we wrote that while they were on strike. Just something like that. If they don't do it, it'd be a totally missed opportunity. Completely missed opportunity.
God. That movie, I'm just superbly excited to see that movie. God forbid whoever shows up in it, because man, it is going to be something else. I'm truthfully just excited to see Hugh Jackman in a full-on
yeah. Oh yeah,
that's gonna be badass.
I'm curious if they're going to have him in the cowl.
Yeah, and if they are, please do not let that leak, because that's like we need to see that for the first time, like as it's intended.
A guy at work was like, I've seen the mask. I was like, you show me, I will fucking kill you.
I mean, I just hope it's the same one they had at the end of
the Wolverine.
Yeah. Because like that was perfect.
Well, it's not going to be the same color.
Right. It's not going to be the brown, but like same design.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's
that at all, actually.
But yeah, hopefully get some good classic Wolverine along with the cowl. But speaking of things that are being hyped up recently, we got the month of Rebel Moon. The month of Rebel Moon is finally here.
Oh boy. Bring it on.
And in about
Peyton Reed.
So let's say it comes out the 15th, right? So in about 9 days, I will finally be able to talk about things that I saw on the set.
It comes out on the 22nd. The 15th is
the 15th is
when the theater runs.
Oh, that's right. 22nd. You're right. 22nd.
Oh, that's right. You've been holding all this to yourself.
Yes, and I bet it's just been absolutely excruciating, because I mean this has been like a year for it.
I wouldn't be able to.
I've seen pictures of things that I saw on set, and I'm just
That's
like,
awesome.
I can't talk about it.
Yeah, there are things about this movie that I'm like, I can't talk about it. Don't ask me.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Walmart has Rebel Moon merch.
Yeah, I ran by my Walmart when Scott posted that today. I ran by. I apparently, at least on mine, they hadn't got all that up yet. But I'm gonna ask the manager.
Mine probably won't get it for another week because my Walmart sucks because we're in the middle of nowhere and nothing gets here in time.
Haven't even looked at mine.
It's like my local Ollie's. I might mind. It's like my local Ollie's. They don't get anything new ever. So anyway, Allie, what were you gonna say?
I hope that since it has a very limited theatrical run, I don't really want spoilers to come out for this one. Like, it makes me a little worried about that. With a lot of other movies, I don't really mind the spoilers, but since this is so new and just stuff we haven't seen before, I'm a little worried about that. But
Alejandro, I can shut down. I did not see Cavill.
Well, there is a rumor circulating that Henry might have some kind of presence. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that.
I don't know either. But if he is somehow,
I will jump up and scream and cry.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it if Zach got his entire Justice League cast in, because he's already got Cyborg, he's already got Darkseid. So if he got his Superman, his Batman, his Wonder Woman, his his Aquaman, his Flash, even like got his Martian Manhunter and his Green Lantern in it, it's like I would be like,
that would be a lot.
that.
But Henry, I think, is the ultimate person that I want to see him work with again. Like,
that would be awesome.
That has to happen somehow.
Well, and to that point, I mean, during his the interview with Horowitz, which is now so heartbreaking to watch.
I know I can't watch it. I can't watch it.
I can't either. Although Black Adam, I am curious. Like these apparently is like having a real renaissance on streaming, both on HBO Max and on Netflix now. So that's that is an interesting thing to ponder. But Zach, of course, he did the video message from the Rebel Moon set for Henry, and he did say, I mean, this is not me inferring. I mean, he did say in that message, "I can't wait to work with you again." So
I remember that.
Maybe something there.
I know.
I wish stood in that exact spot where Zach filmed that video.
Oh yeah.
I stood in that exact spot. I found it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Did they let you guys take pictures? You're allowed to share that.
Yeah, they let us take pictures, but not with our own devices.
You probably can't even share any of those pictures after the movie's out.
So did they
I don't have them.
Let you take them and then they'll send them to you?
Yep.
Or something?
Yep.
Oh,
as soon as our embargo.
That's a good protection. Yeah. Okay.
It is.
Got it.
Yeah. So all this footage, all these pictures, and I don't have them. I can't even look at them. It's like the sucky thing is like,
you got 2 weeks, dude. It'll be.
That's
but it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's been like a year.
When you're the one waiting, yeah.
Look, man, if I can keep my mouth shut about having fucking coffee with Darkseid, you'll be fine.
That's fair. That's fair. Although I had lunch with Zack Snyder, so it's like,
yeah. You're like,
but, were you in the same theater as Ben Affleck, though?
Yeah.
Good point.
I remember messaging Anthony when Ben came out, and I was like, "Fucking Andre's there," and I put like a middle finger emoji in the chat.
No, I remember. I still go back like watch that video when Ray Porter's announcing like the guests, and he's announcing Ben. It's like
I was mind blown.
Phenomenal actor, great filmmaker, and I think the best he gets the word Batman out, and then it's just everybody's just crackers in there.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like before that an announcement even hit is like a couple chuckleheads out on the internet were trying to say that it was going to be Gal Gadot being there, but a few people whom I will say namelessly were just like, no, it ain't going to be him. And we were a little privy to who might have showed up. So we were just like laughing at that whole thing because they were like, oh, it's going to be Gal Gadot. Watch, it's going to be Gal Gadot. And we're just like, okay.
Ben was actually the one that I was going to be most like, whoa, if he showed up. And
yeah, well, I could see that.
I wasn't even there, and they announced him. And I grabbed my kids were sitting next to me, and I was like, "What?" I was freaking out. I was like, "I can't believe it."
It was enough to make me like that much more envious. I was not physically there.
Yeah,
it's like when you think about who could have logistically been there in the area, only one of the Trinity theoretically could have been, and it wasn't going to be Superman or Wonder Woman because they have other projects either on the other side of the world or whatever. So it was logically like the only one that we could think of, and we were like, yeah, definitely. And it was cool. Like it was really something to see the fucking Batman walk out on the stage,
and he
like,
still got a Dunkin' Donuts cup in his hand.
Yeah, he did. And like when he walked out, I was at the far end. I kick myself in the ass every time for this because like I had the choice of sitting on the far end or like right where they were doing the questions, and I really wish I would have sat right where they were doing the questions, because when he walked up, I yelled, "I fucking loved you in Mallrats!" But yeah, like it was cool. But yeah, even like getting to chat with Ray like the Monday after it was awesome. It was just such a great experience, and I'm envious of Dawson because he got to go see a whole fucking film set of a new movie, and like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, like I said, it's like if you know, like, without having any inside info on this, because I don't, but yeah, Zach did have, you know, if he pulled like a fast one, he had cameos or some kind of presence for like, you know, his whole JL cast, like, you know, throughout the burgeoning Rebel Moon universe. I mean, it's like just what a coup, what a like, yeah.
So I forgot to ask this, Phil. Where exactly in LA was the screening at? I'm trying to remember exactly where it was.
The oh fuck, what is it? The it was an IMAX theater at the City Walk, the big one.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's what it was when they announced it. Universal.
The Universal IMAX, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to place where that was because I lived down LA for a bit, so I'm just trying to. Anyway,
Universal City Walk, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember driving by that. Okay, yeah,
yes.
I know where that is.
Yeah, we were there. It was cool. I mean, even before we like made it into the as we were walking into the theater, here comes Zach and Ray Porter like walking up, and you know they were happy to take pictures, and it was super fucking cool.
And he did that. He just did that again down there in a CCXP for you know, for Rebel Moon, and it's something I've said, you know, multiple times on when I streams on a Sci-Fi Center is, I mean, and this is not like a dig at any other filmmakers, but I mean, you talk about like how many other directors can you think of that are, you know, directing at these $200 million budget levels who just take this kind of time just to really just associate and just share his love with his fans. I mean, I mean, Zach is like when he's on a stream, like when he's on like Film Junkies Vodka stream, he'll come on and say it's like, yeah, I can stick around for about 20 minutes, and then it's like, and then an hour and a half later he takes off. So.
Yeah. Oh man, I just can't wait to be able to tell you guys in depth like my experience meeting Zach for the first time, like just going into detail.
Meeting Zach and being like twice his size, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
And like watching him work, I'm sure was probably just as cool too. You know, because that's an experience in and of itself. I mean, like to Brad's point, like I don't think there are any other directors out there who are just that kind to their fan base. No. In any capacity, you know, like I've just never seen someone be just so warm. Like the word that comes to mind is warm, honestly.
And not just, again, I'm not going to go into specifics, but not just like watching him work, but as he was working, talking with us. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like at the same time. RJ here says Army of the Dead is the 15th biggest Netflix movie ever at 186,500,000 hours watched. Red Notice is still number one at 436 million hours watched. I'll be curious to see where Rebel Moon falls. I would say I think it'll beat it will beat Army of the Dead in watch hours.
It will.
Although Army of the Dead is now, because they are now part of the same cinematic universe, I would imagine Army of the Dead is going to
go up.
There's going to be a rising tide effect there.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, I think with Rebel Moon, I think with Dune moving out of the way from its November slot to March, I feel like a lot of people are going to be itching for some kind of sci-fi itch, more or less. And obviously, you know, not getting a new Star Wars movie for at least another 2 or 3 years. So I feel like this is probably the primest time to have for a new sci-fi epic to make its debut.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Taika's got his Star Wars movie in the works.
So the trades keep saying.
No.
If he goes to DC, I'm definitely going to be done. I mean,
don't stop. Hey, you and Droga, stop.
Don't manifest that. Don't manifest that.
Don't.
You'll be disappointed if you expect.
We have been through enough as DC fans over these last few years. For God's sake.
We have been through enough.
I mean, I just take solace in the fact that I watched him die as Ratcatcher in the Suicide Squad. So. I mean, look, it was a choice to make Ratcatcher a fucking heroin addict, but at the same time, the fact it was played by him, I was like, oh, okay, that's neat.
That checks out. Considering how Thor: Love and Thunder turned out, that checks out. Chris here says, Dawson, could you say what you're excited about in Rebel Moon? I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to see what Sofia Boutella does as Cora, but Ray Fisher as Blood Axe. I think he's gonna be very, very fun to watch. I think the action sequences with him are going to be very, very exciting, and he's just going to be a very intimidating presence. And I'm just very much ready for that. Aside from that, I mean, you've seen the images of, the Imperium, like the guys with the big hats and the masks that are behind. I forget his name, but I'm excited to see the extent of how those characters are used, because I got to see a lot of those things up close and see the details on them and everything. But
did you see, by chance, I don't know if you can say or yes or no, but like, did you see Duna Bay's Nemesis, any sword work done?
I'll take that as a yes in my best Henry Cavill voice.
Very cool. That's probably arguably one outside of like Cora and Charlie Hunnam's Kai and Blood Axe, obviously, like that. That's the next character on my list that I'm really excited to see, because obviously that whole concept of how those Magna swords work, I'm very intrigued by. So
those are going to be, if those are not being merchandised yet, they will be, and they are going to, I imagine, like be just.
I'll just say this. How the weapons work, I love it.
Okay,
so freaking much.
That sounds cool.
That is
like it's something that we wouldn't probably know, like. Something that we would think of. It's not obvious. Like it's something that wouldn't be obvious. Like if you were just to think, they have weapons, but it's not something you would think of how they're.
Yeah.
If you don't know beforehand, like if you're just a fan going in to watch the movie, it's not something you would.
It's like, again, I'll say it as safely as I can. You think of sci-fi, you think of like laser guns, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's just, right?
Yeah.
It's a more realistic take on that, in my opinion.
Okay. They don't just work because they work.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's the genre and that's how stuff like that look. Yeah, Nemesis, I think, is going to be amazing. I think in every like teaser or trailer or anything we've seen that has like any type of footage that has come out for that movie, I think her shots are like my favorite. She has amazing scenes. Oh my gosh, she looks like she's going to be. I mean, I think all of them are going to be awesome in their own way. But she really, I don't know.
I'll just say that everything I saw about the weapons and the things I was told about the details about them made perfect sense. It just worked. It was like, okay, I see the logic here, and it just makes a lot of sense. And it's not like, I feel like it's something people can infer pretty easily, but it's not going to be like spelled like, this is why this works. This is how we do this. It's like, no, it's not going to be hand-holdy. You can just kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I mean, everybody, all the characters everybody listed, it's like, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to all of them. But I mean, I think for me personally, the big standout, the guy I expect to be the big standout is going to be Jimmy, Anthony Hopkins. Jimmy.
Yes,
yeah.
Because again, he's being the way it almost seems to be positioning him as like he's C-3PO, but he's a warrior.
Yes.
So and he's almost like it's almost like he's almost like the narrative kind of linchpin is how they're kind of setting it up, because he's narrating the trailer. I mean, you've got Anthony Hopkins voicing him, so that by itself indicates that he's going to be very significant. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to. And of course, he's a cyborg that has antlers. So I mean,
it's such a cool design.
Yeah,
like a very interesting design.
And his backstory is going to be interesting for people to learn and figure out what he's all about.
I anticipate that. I think people are really going to like him.
General Titus, we've seen a few comments in
so much you can't talk about.
I've seen a few comments about General Titus here too, which you had Jamon Hansu, who got jacked as hell for this.
His arms are like bigger than my leg,
and he's a big dude anyway. But I mean, he got enormous for this, and I love
like this.
Ray looked huge on stage at CCXP from the videos that I saw.
And you made me lose our train of thought there for a second.
Sorry.
This is something. There's no way this is not intentional on Zach's part. That Jamon Hansu's character Titus, that they first meet him is that he's a gladiator in a coliseum. There is absolutely no way that's not intentional on Zach's part. As you mentioned with Ray at CCXP, he brought a lot of fireworks to it, and I am now co-opting for so many events, and we definitely am going to be using this at Christmas dinner in some way. When he was on stage with his giant ass, BFG laser cannon, where this has been confiscated from the Imperium, who don't need it because they're assholes. I'm going to be plugging that into every opportunity I have in life. It's like pass the coleslaw. It's like we have confiscated from the Imperium, who don't need it because they're assholes.
I have held that gun.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just about to ask.
It is.
What he and Ray, I think it was in the Total Film interview where he was asked about it, and he said, "Yeah, that gun is almost as big as he is." And Ray, I've read online, is about 6'2" or 6'3".
He's a big guy.
No. Look at the scene in ZSJL when he's interfacing with the mother box and he sees the image of himself with his parents. I mean, he just is so much taller than both of them.
Big dude.
And actually, Dawson, this might also be something you have to tiptoe around a little bit. But did you get to meet any of the cast there? Okay, and that's all you can say.
I'm not saying anything out loud. Read the
not
a
ton of them. One specific.
Okay. You held the gun though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
For a while.
Now does that gun actually shoot lasers?
Yes. No,
I'm totally stealing a Jon Stewart joke when he had I remember this so vividly. I don't know why. When he had The Rock on, when he was promoting the Doom movie, and he brought the BFG prop on, and Jon Stewart, he's a big Doom fan, and he asked him, "Yeah, does this actually shoot super explosive plasma?"
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
Oh man, let's see. Every time Dawson speaks, it just Netflix is watching. Oh man.
We were actually William and I we were doing the trailer breakdown a few months ago. I mean, we were legit because we had shown when Zach and Deborah and Sophie Patel when they did the Dumb event. We played some of their on stage appearances. We got like midstream. We got taken down. So when we came back and did the trailer breakdown, we were a little bit nervous, like, is this going to happen again? But I guess he's kind of spoken to a few of the, because he does a lot of these showings, so he's got contacts with these studios, and he said, yeah, as long as we're like showing it from like their main YouTube page, it should be okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but and also I probably should take this opportunity, since we're on Rebel Moon, to mention the events that William and myself, of course, we are coordinating,
Yes.
which is is the Sci-Fi Center watch party / charity event on December 22nd for Rebel Moon. And it's going to be both it's going to be in his screening room in the Sci-Fi Center, and also online. So it's going to be very integrated and very whether you're there or not, you're going to be able to join in and check that out and come aboard for that. Now, I do need to also state up front, this is something I don't have to tiptoe around anymore. It's that I can confirm that we have Zach and the entire cast on board. They are going to be interviewed for this. This is absolutely in no way me being facetious. Yes, it is. I'm totally BSing there. No, I make that joke all the time. No, we have not had any direct contact with anyone as of yet. But as I'm sure a lot of people saw, Zach did share on Twitter and Vero the page for our AFSP drive, which we just crossed the halfway mark to the $5,000 mark that we're trying to get. But that brought tears to my eyes when he shared that. I mean, that was just so gratifying. It was so uplifting. And but yeah, that's going to be coming up on the 22nd. So if anybody haven't seen that yet, if you're able to do so, please consider a donation, or if you can't do that, at least share the link. Just get the word out on that. We're really trying to spread the word on this, make this event as big as we possibly get it. And of course, we it's going to be this is going to be a Christmas to remember.
Very cool.
Yeah, William.
We have no confirmed guests.
He's probably going to give me a talking to tonight when we go on the stream.
Probably my favorite thing that happened with the CCXP, or I guess with Rebel Moon this week, was the fact that they literally let Zack Snyder just cook a crap ton of like steak.
Oh
yeah, that was.
Let him cook.
Yeah, well,
literally, they let him cook.
Not only that, but that caption in that video, because they had the video that was kind of the montage of it. The caption said, it was in Portuguese, Zack Snyder o Mestre dos Cortez. From Portuguese, that translates as Zack Snyder, the master of cuts.
Ah.
This shows the difference between like how Warner Brothers and Netflix have understood, like have decided to tap into the zeitgeist of like of that movie, but also the impact that it and his career at large have had, because they are absolutely positively aware of like the connotation that the term cut next to the name Snyder creates in people's minds at this point.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
It's become a pop culture reference.
Yes.
I feel like Barbie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, did you see that circulating where the little snippet of the interview where he said, "Oh yeah, it's like they gave me a heads up about it.
Yeah,
we thought it was funny," and some people are still just. It's really become clear to me in the last year or so. There are still people who are just really, really, really butthurt that movie came out.
Oh yeah,
of course. There's always going to be.
Oh but I don't think I realized that personally until about July, when we had the article that about from the that Phil will probably have a massive rant about with the one journalist that we all know and love. But it was around that time frame where I said, it's like, man, we rattled we really pissed some people off, not just in Warner Brothers, but like industry wide, and like even outside the industry. Like it just there are people who, like, if they pass like the the Blu-ray section of Walmart or Best Buy and see that sitting there, it's like, I mean, it just kills some people inside to see that and to realize that, yes, that came out, yes, that made history, yes, that is going to exist in perpetuity.
To cheer against that, I just don't understand.
Look,
I don't get it either. I never will.
If there's really one thing I'm not looking forward to in regards to Rebel Moon, it's going to be the amount of those shit stirrers who are journalists, and they're going to put out their review that they've already written in their head before even seeing the movie, because you already know there are those journalists out there who just put him in this toxic masculine fucking box that think he's that when he's not.
Right.
There's going to be the detractors who are going to watch the movie and just fucking post their nonsense on it for hate likes. It comes with every film the man's ever made. Like, with every bit of praise, there's always just going to be that loud minority who's like, "Boo, Zack Snyder, evil!" And it's like,
well, not only that, but also everything James Gunn is making, like Superman Legacy. I mean, I can name. I won't on tonight on the air, but I can name people who I can imagine have already written their reviews, and it's probably 80% just bashing Man of Steel, BVS, ZSJL.
Oh, I can name one. Joanna Robinson. Oh, for sure. You can already guarantee she's written some shite review even without even having seen the movie. I can promise you that.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, and I love how people try to make it seem like, move on, get over it. Your Snyderverse is over, blah blah. It's like the people who hate his stuff are the ones that don't move on.
Well, and that's the thing I keep saying.
Why are you still complaining about BVS and stuff you don't like in Man of Steel? Those movies are a decade old. You're the one still complaining about them. Why are you mad that people still love those movies?
And then here's the thing. When you clap back with "why are you still complaining," the only thing they can say is,
I hate Snyder fans. But I thought the Snyder fans are such a small minority. So why are you coming into contact with them? Why are they making such a big impact if it's such a small group of people?
Like, for me, I know that there were movies that were released 10 years. I know there was movies that were released 10 years ago that I didn't like, but I can't tell you what they are because I can't freaking remember because I don't talk about them.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. What again? It's like it's dead, but you guys can't. It's the Tupac Shakur of cinematic universes, where it's like it's ostensibly dead, but it's still making headlines and having things fly off the shelf constantly.
Well, here's the thing. It's never really gonna stay dead because of the fact the fucking movies exist. Like, no matter what.
I know. I don't understand the problem. Like, and I love that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I love that Netflix is like, the more Snyder we have, the better we are. I love that comment that he made, because it's like, it shows that we know that he's going to get hate from a certain group of people, but his fans are so much bigger than that. Like, they've obviously recognized his fan base, and that his movies get watched even if people don't like him. They're gonna watch his movies. It's Netflix. It's Netflix. Like, they've almost straight up said, it's like to Warner Bros. Okay, you don't want him, you don't want his fan base, we'll take him. Exactly. Someone's paying attention.
And not only will we take them, it's like we will, again, with like the thing I just mentioned a minute ago with the steak video, it's like not only will we take them, it's like we will find ways to tap into the term Snyder Cut as much as we possibly can.
Yes, exactly.
We're capitalizing on a good thing, doing exactly what Warner Brothers should have done.
And then David Zaslav's like, hey, My company's in debt. Do you guys want to
Yeah.
maybe stream our movies for
They
us?
don't, and they're
please?
losing leverage with
and-
DC right now because
and-
their movies after Zack left have tanked. Like they're losing leverage because what have you done? What movies have been? You can't Aquaman. Yes, I know the first movie, but besides that one, and they got lucky with that one after the crap they pulled with Justice League.
They inherited it. That's the only reason why it was successful as it was.
Yeah, but it's like what movies have? Hey, go put your clothes on. What movies have? What big hits have you had? And I'm sick of people saying that that James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie bombed because of COVID. No, I'm sick of that argument. I'm sorry. I'm sure it did impact it somewhat because they still put it on HBO Max at that time, so not as many people, but people were still going back to the theater at that time.
Well, as Williams says, Godzilla vs. Kong says hi. 5 months earlier, day and date release during COVID, and did 470 something million worldwide.
Mortal Kombat says hello.
Yeah,
like
it's like
regardless of how people feel about that movie, R-rated, action-packed, just straight up fucking brutality, and it's day and date.
I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, yes, but had they released Zack Snyder's Justice League for a limited time in theaters at that same time of year, it would have made plenty of money. But we all know why they didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, so,
it's
sorry.
Not the COVID thing doesn't work. And I highly doubt, it did amazing numbers on HBO Max. No, it didn't. There's plenty of other stuff for people to watch. I don't think they're waiting by the second for James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie that no one asked for to get on HBO Max so they could go watch it.
I mean, outside the comic community, there weren't really people looking forward to that movie because people didn't know what the heck it was. I don't even
think within the comic community people were, okay, and it's not a sequel, it's not a reboot. What is it?
That probably hurt it too with the total lack of clarity in the messaging under the Hamada regime. But I just thought of this too, because there was also that comment Scott Stuber made when he was asked about. I'll just go ahead and say it. Asked about the Snyderverse to Netflix thing. And he, to his credit, he actually didn't really, his answer was actually very diplomatic where he said, that's complicated. We don't know the rights. So that's kind of tricky. So he wasn't really saying, because I've always been, I've made clear. It's like, I'm kind of agnostic on that. It's like, I've been like, let's ask. If they say no, then we're in the same spot we are. I mean, I don't see the need to be, I don't see the need to be pissy about it either way, but he followed that up with, what you just said, Ali, about it's like, the more Zach, the better. And we'd love to license it, which a lot of people have said that he was likely referring to like licensing ZSJL itself, on Netflix, which that didn't go with part of this latest DC stream. But I just thought of this. Oh man, if they did this, I mean, the shade this would be if they did this. What if they did? And Netflix, they got the some kind of streaming license to ZSJL and they gave it a theater run.
That'd be hilarious. I'm just going to echo a sentiment from another person I talked to at Full Circle, in that the whole sell Snyderverse to Netflix, the whole restore the Snyderverse on Netflix thing, it's just very unrealistic. It's a very unrealistic hashtag. At the end of the day, to Stuber's point, number one, the licensing alone is just the trickiest aspect of it all. Number two, you're really going to expect Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, all three of them to come back years after the fact that they've been done with it, to come back and finish 2 movies? I don't think so. Not with their busy schedules. No, I doubt it.
So either.
Well, yeah, but here's the other side of that, though, with everything we're saying about how even the haters can't shut up about Zack's DC movies. It's like, well, if you want the world to move on from it, you're certainly not helping matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very, very true.
So it's kind of like his haters, his detractors, in their own way, whether they're knowing it or not, probably not knowing it. They're kind of probably driving a lot of the interest in it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Nerd Cosa Nostra here with a $4.99 chat. Let's give you a little explosion really fast, my friend. He says, "I'll just say minimal dramatic pause. Release the air cut." Exactly. That's something I can get behind.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. But we mentioned Godzilla versus Kong. I think we have some trailers to watch, including Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. So let's bring up this trailer. We'll give our thoughts on it. We have a couple trailers to go through. So this last hour of the show is basically just going to be watching trailers, reacting to them, talking about them. Some of them I know a little bit about and have some excitement for. There's some that I couldn't care less. We're going to watch them. First one being Godzilla X Kong. Let's get this going. Here we go. Phil, you want to get the music?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get that pause real quick before we get this playing. Or maybe that'll actually help us. I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. Let's play this.
For most of human civilization, we believed that life could only exist on the surface of our planet. What
Kong
else
steals
were we
Bumblebee's
wrong
arm
about?
confirmed.
Welcome to my world.
I'm still confused as to how it's sunny down
Won't
there.
you come on?
Yeah, I never thought about that actually.
Because
This
of the
world
core,
has more
Dawson.
secrets
Because of the core.
than we could possibly imagine.
Miracles I get. Still, now and then.
It's a little Kong.
I actually really like that he's going to have his axe again.
that?
That's not Kong. What could have done this?
That guy. Kong's looking a little gray.
Yeah,
Little
he's pushing probably 70 now.
Something like that.
Kong can't stop this on his own.
He won't be alone.
No. No, he won't.
I saw people on Twitter say this is the new Barbenheimer.
This is my boy right there. That's my boy. Godzilla. Fuck yeah.
How tall must that cave be to be that much taller than both of them?
Seriously.
I am so here for
Is
this.
that a mini Kong?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes,
Wa-
it is.
Watch them call it Diddy.
By the way, Droga has a good comment. He says the red ape looks like Joss Whedon.
Oof.
That's a diss, man.
I do have a question. So, like, I'm not incredibly knowledgeable
Insult-
about
that's insulting
Godzilla
to
and
start
King
me.
Kong or anything, but my main question is, what is there a reason why Godzilla's like energy is pink now?
Yes.
Why-
So I looked into this.
Okay.
The reason they did that specifically is because it's harkening back to a later era of Toho Godzilla films where he does in fact have a pink power. aura.
Okay.
So,
I wonder what the
that's the reason
in-universe explanation is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know exactly why that is, but I don't know if I'm at liberty to say it here.
Okay.
Well, like one thing William and I have kind of theorized is that it's something that he gets like imbued with a new kind of a radioactive energy from inside the Hollow Earth. So that's where he gets the new pink energy from.
That could work.
Oh. Okay, Phil.
I'll just say that they're holding back one other element of this movie, and I think it's smart, but at the same time, it's raising questions people are asking for the right reasons. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And another thing too, there was a lot of ape beings there like Kong. So in Godzilla or Kong versus Godzilla, there weren't any there that they saw. And so are they suggesting that he eventually found them, or are they suggesting that he found one and then eventually made, a family, or like, I'm curious to what they're implying here with that.
Well, we didn't really get too much Hollow Earth in Godzilla versus. I mean, we got a lot of it, but not everything. Is what I will say.
Yeah, I think probably the majority of this movie is going to take place in Hollow Earth.
Probably.
Which would be pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that happen. So,
yeah, but like I said, in the shot with him charging up his atomic breath and it being pink, I saw people commenting on Twitter that Godzilla has become the new with that look, with that kind of radioactive energy, he's become the new Barbenheimer.
Oh my gosh, Barbenheimer. So like, okay, I mean that looks interesting. I know there's been a lot of people kind of upset because the first Godzilla movie was very much more monster-esque. Kong Skull Island was very monster-esque. And now people are like, oh, we have Godzilla and King Kong like running in a hallway now. Like, I don't share that same sentiment, but I can kind of understand where they're coming from. Where all of a sudden, you have these giant monsters like running around and sprinting. And I'm also curious about that mechanical arm that Kong has. I wonder if he's going to have that after he first interacts with that sort of orangutan Kong creature.
So the orange one is called Scar King. He is I don't know what I could talk about without spoiling.
We'll just call him Joss Whedon for now.
That's your preference, I suppose. But if you also noticed, he's got like a skeleton wrapped around his body, and that, from what I understand, is a spine from the Zilla line. Like that is a spine of a former Godzilla.
Oh wow.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said a minute ago, that shot of the two of them sprinting through the cave, because they're both like in excess of like 300-400 feet tall. So I mean, that does beg the question. It's like, the scale of that, like how freaking tall is that cave? Like what is the volume and the scope of the hollow earth that they can stand in, they can be inside of it, and they can look tiny compared to their environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. And that hollow earth is huge.
Yeah, I'll say that Scar King is actually taller than both Godzilla and Kong. Like he's
I could tell that by the handprint that he had on that mountainside. He looked a bit bigger than Kong did. But
that's intentional.
Yeah. But with that, I think we can move on to the next trailer, which is, I believe it's an Amazon series, Fallout.
Yes.
Based, of course, on the popular video game series. Unless Allie, I guess she's dealing with her kid right now. Let's bring up this trailer and let's watch this.
Oh shit.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
Stop! Hey, she's from Army.
Yes, that's Ella Purnell from Army of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to say she's the way Army of the Dead ended. It was aliens of Newt was the only survivor.
Vault dwellers are an endangered species. I do
Big
not
bugs.
think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive.
The aesthetic is perfect so far.
If you insist on staying, then you will have to adapt.
Uh-huh.
2 days shooting. Oh man.
Tomorrow, so they say, will be a lovely day. A bright new sun will suddenly break through. But I don't want to see tomorrow.
Yeah,
Walter Goggins.
Like Deadpool. No, he doesn't like Deadpool. Like no
I
Deadpool.
see it with you.
Yeah.
And grab the moldy one.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I am here for this.
I have never played the Fallout games, but I'm assuming it would have something to do with like nukes going off and the Fallout, mutating people into these, the guys with one eye or all these weird creatures, or we have giant cockroaches and
a lot of radioactive mutation. I played a bit of Fallout New Vegas, but that's the one that I've played personally. But like the big giant bugs and the desert landscapes and abandoned places, like very true to the aesthetic of the games, as far as I understand.
Yeah, to give anyone a rundown, basically what happens is in the world of Fallout, this is also not taking any on part of any timeline of any of the other games. It's its own thing, but it's also taking a lot of inspiration from the games themselves. Basically, about 200 plus years or so after the bombs go off is when people collectively come out of the vaults and they're forced to search and scavenge and survive on the surface after everything's been mutated and grown to such insane lengths. It's nuts.
Yeah,
looks good. I'm genuinely intrigued by it. I've never played too many of them. Watched one of my best friends and my brother play these games a lot. So I'm curious. I'll watch it. So yeah, it looks good from what it looks like the video game, and that's really all you could ask for.
True.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the game either, but my husband, as soon as he saw he was like, "What? They're making a Fallout live action series? No way!" And I think that. Like, I'm not a gamer, but I mean, I do love the oh my God, Last of Us series.
Yeah.
But I think it's better for these studios that are doing live action adaptations of games that they're doing series. Like, there's been a lot of movies that have been not, up to people's hopes or standards that love a lot of these games, and they'll make a movie and it's just not. It's not satisfactory for a lot of these gaming fans. So I think series, there's too much story. And I think it's better that a lot of these studios now are doing series for, all these popular games instead of movies. I mean, movies it's not like a bad thing, but I think series are probably a better way to go for the live action adaptation.
Depends on the game, honestly. And I'm inclined to agree. I feel like a series would benefit the overall lore of whatever video game you're trying to adapt. I mean, look at The Last of Us. It's pretty much to a T the video game.
And even Halo, like these games that have been around for so many years, and like people have been waiting for live action. I think it's just a lot to pack into a movie.
To my mind, the best live action video game adaptation to date, did come in series form, and that was Street Fighter Assassin's Fist back in 2014, which that's been since been released on Blu-ray as a single movie, but that was initially put out in series format. And again, our first good live action Street Fighter after Legend of Chun-Li and the '94 movie. Although I will always champion the virtues of the '94 movie entirely based on the performance of the one, the only Raul Julia as M. Bison.
Well, the thing too with video game adaptations is like, you adapt books or comics or even remake movies. There's a fixed like lore and story that's there. And so if you detract from that, you're going to have diehards who are going to get upset. And like video games, you have that to an extent, but there's so much flexibility with video games. People play them so differently. Yeah. And so it's even something like Fallout, there's different factions you become a part of. There's different storylines you can go get into. And so that allows so much freedom to kind of go into the video game and just to kind of do what you want while staying in the restraints of that world to an extent. I just feel like it's a safer way to go if Hollywood wants to, cash in on, recognizable properties. Video games are the smartest way to do that.
I feel like the people who are making Halo need to take some notes.
I haven't seen the Halo series, but I've heard both good and negative things.
That's what I've heard too. Heard it go both
I know
ways.
that he has his helmet off a lot.
Yeah, which
people are instantly mad.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a character that never shows his face and you show his face like right away in the live action adaptation, it's like that's almost like if the Zelda movie ends up making Link speak.
Yeah,
that's how destructive that would be. To
him. No, the worst one. The worst one. Go ahead, Phil.
I was just saying to Dawson, like, expect Link to speak. Like it's gonna.
Sure,
happen.
He will. I'm sure
probably
he will.
And the thing is like that's happened before. The animated TV show, the very short-lived one. So it really wouldn't shock me at all to see Link speak at some point.
True.
The worst one that I in terms of like going from video game to live action that I've seen was Bison in Legend of Chun-Li.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
love Neil McDonough, great actor, but man, that was oof. It was a big oof.
Yes, it was a big oof.
Big oof.
With the Halo thing, my husband was like, I can't believe they did that, He was like, no. And I was like, well, on one hand, I get like when you do live action stuff, there is some stuff that has to change.
Mm-hmm.
Or that you expect to change, because like you're not going to have him the entire show with people not seeing his face. It's a show. It's different than I get it, because there's these diehard fans that are like, he doesn't show he never takes off his helmet.
Well, they did it with they did it with Dredd.
Yeah, it's like if you cast someone
they
though.
did it with Mandalorian too.
I was about to use the Mandalorian as an example.
It's like you're gonna expect to see his face at some point. Like, what if there's people watching the show who are not familiar with the game, and they're like, "Why don't we ever see his face?" But they could have worked that in somehow, or they could have saved it for like the last episode, or like you just see the back of him or something. Like he takes it off or something. Like they could have put into the dialogue, like, "Hey, does this guy ever?" They could have done something like he doesn't take off his helmet. They could have worked it in somehow to let the audience know, for people that might not be familiar with the game, he keeps his helmet on.
Well, the thing is, like these Halo fans are like getting butthurt for no reason, because I think it's at the end of Halo 3 or 4 where he does in fact get his helmet taken off. So it's a thing that has happened.
Really soon, I think that people were like,
at the end of Halo 1
saved it
too,
for
like
later.
he takes his helmet off, you just don't see what he looks like.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Well, they handled it very well in Dredd too, where it's like you have that suiting up montage at the beginning, and then he puts on the helmet and it's on for the whole movie. So they were able to implement that very organically in the Dredd movie, which is one of the reasons why that movie just works so as well as it does. Because Carl Urban just kills it as Dredd, and just with only half of his face to to emote with.
Yeah.
And it's total opposite from I've been a Stallone fan my whole life, but that 995 movie is just it's not good.
No, it is indeed not. And Allie, I believe you say you have to get going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going, guys.
All right, appreciate you stopping by and giving us a better co-host than Andre or Ryan. We appreciate
Shots fired.
It was actually my first stream with you, Allie, so it was a pleasure stream with you tonight.
Yeah, you too. Sorry for cutting you off sometimes.
Oh no,
I tend to do that sometimes too. I know I do.
We stream with Ryan and Andre. We're more than used to that. You didn't even come close to that level. So,
well, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm so glad I was able to make it this time. I know it's been a long time, but thank you guys. Good discussion. I'm super excited for Rebel Moon, and it's nice to see everybody.
Love, take care, Allie.
Right, later, Allie.
Bye. Have a good one.
Everybody go follow Allie at Super Hive, YouTube, and Twitter, and everything like that. And appreciate you being on. You have a good night.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye, Allie.
And we're gonna also have a couple more trailers. This next trailer is something that I don't care at all about. I watched the first episode of the entire series. Haven't watched anything.
Oh, good. So you're not referring to Furiosa. Thank God, because that
no.
If you had said Furiosa was something you had after Fury Road, I'm like, oh, I would have just lost it.
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the trailer for season 4 of The Boys. I don't care about it, but I know people care about it. I know people are really invested in it, so we're gonna watch the trailer for season 4. Give reactions to it. Of course, my reaction is gonna be very uninformed, and let's go from there.
Rome. Greece.
That's your new Johnny Cage right there, by the way.
Fail.
Yep.
Because
which is an interesting choice.
Stupid.
Yeah, I'm really curious what his Johnny Cage is going to be like. Yeah, a lot more rugged, I would imagine.
But if you crush the masses, who builds your monuments? Who tongues your taint? The people will tear it apart themselves. You just gotta nudge them a little. Then you get to swoop in, be the one saving it.
Damn straight.
Like Caesar.
Like Caesar.
Don't worry. If there's hell below.
Oh, hell.
To watch their balls crushed.
Your team. What's your code name again?
The boys.
Oof. Who came up with that shit?
Good old Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes, I always like seeing Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I mean, do either of you guys watch The Boys much at all?
I was a bit of a Johnny Come Lately too. I only got into it within the last year or so. So yeah, so I am looking forward to seeing where they go with the boys now. Yeah, just interested in Dawson and Phil's thoughts on it though.
I've been watching the show since it debuted. I'm pretty big on it. I actually just recently finished up Gen V, which kind of leads directly into some of this. So I'm pretty ecstatic, pretty excited. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is there for, I have no idea what his role is, but I know he's got a pedigree there with the showrunner Eric Kripke for Supernatural. So that's probably why you see him there. Yeah, I'm jazzed. I'm going to watch it. So looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, what I was saying earlier about other entities, recognizing the zeitgeist of the Snyder Cut and all that impact is. I mean, obviously, we saw last season with the whole thing with the Bork cut with the boys. So wonderful.
I did see the clip where Homelander's like, "Those Joss rewrites really sing, don't they?"
Yeah, that was like season 1 or 2, I think. When, yeah. So I'm curious if they do anything similar to that, especially they've got Thomas Wayne as part of the show now, so
right.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing where they take the show. I mean, obviously, it's not the kind of CBM material I would share with my mother, but
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I watched the first episode and like I'm not gonna say it's bad. It wasn't for me.
Nah, I feel you.
Say that. I do know that the common consensus is that the book is not that great, but that the show is a better telling of the story that's taking place in the book. Again, that's just basically on what I've heard.
The book is largely a lot more graphic, gratuitous, you name it, right? Like it's again, it's just amplified, and I feel like the show treads certain waters better than the book ever could have.
Yeah, Droger here is saying the book is messed up. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and if the show is not messed up,
I think Brad got cut off there.
I think so. Yeah,
but let's see here.
I'm excited. I think it looks good.
Lewis here says Jeffrey Dean Morgan was cast in Invincible. However, no one knows who he might be playing as. Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I've been watching Invincible, and I watched the first half of second season, so that's very, very fun, very, very exciting. All right, and with that, maybe Brad might have to reconnect here because I think, I don't know, maybe his internet was cutting off, maybe something happened there. But let's bring up the next trailer, which is for Furiosa, which is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. And so let's bring that up here and then react to that, shall we?
Whatever you have to do. However long it takes.
Man. The whole vibe of Mad Max is just
Promise
awesome.
me you'll find your way home. Furiosa. Give me this promise.
Man, that cinematography. Oof, that prosthetic nose is not convincing.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. I'm Furiosa! The darkest of angels.
Yeah. Ooh.
The question is,
I can't wait to see how she gets that arm.
Same.
do you have it in you to make it epic?
Dang. That's pretty awesome.
And I said one thing I said in, William and I, our initial trailer reaction to this, if all we get for the rest of Chris Hemsworth, well, I didn't say it like this, but I'm extrapolating on it now.
Mhm.
If all we get for the rest of Chris Hemsworth's career is stuff like this and Extraction and no more, Thor, especially after Thor Love and Thunder, I am A-okay with that.
Yeah. That's the one negative part of this trailer for me is that prosthetic nose on Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Not convincing at all.
Yeah, I recently
Seems like a
rewatched.
stretch.
I watched Fury Road Sunday night. I rewatched it because I saw this trailer and I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be metal as fuck."
Oh yeah.
Is it going to have the same cinematographer as Mad Max Fury Road?
I don't know if
I
I don't know if
man.
I don't know if Larry Fong did the cinematography for this. I don't know. Oh wait, no. Wow, I'm totally wrong about that because the reason I said that is I saw that Larry Fong did the cinematography for Kong Skull Island. That's why his name came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it? It was a lady who was a cinematographer for Fury Road, and like she hadn't done an action film before, but she won best cinematography. Gosh, what was her name?
But just imagine though, if they decided like with Thor 5 to actually do something with Thor like this. I mean, like that's the only thing that could entice me back to Thor in the MCU at this point is if they went like with the tone of Fury Road or with Furiosa, or because he's turned into Fred Flintstone with a lightning hammer.
Yeah, and we got Tom Hulkenberg with the which is awesome. It just the cinematography, the aesthetic looks great. My main thing is I'm curious to see how convincing Anya Taylor-Joy is as a young Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
So the cinematography for Mad Max Fury Road was actually done by a gentleman named John Seal, and it looks like Furiosa is being done by someone named Simon Dugan.
I must have been thinking of a different story then. Where
probably,
yeah. Okay, so different person, but they still so far have captured a very similar vibe to what they had in Fury Road, which is great. You gotta love consistency.
Yeah. Did you guys sense any? Because I did see a little bit of maybe consternation about this. Did you sense a whole lot of green screen work in this? Because I did see people seem to think that was a little bit more noticeable in this trailer.
A tad, not egregious.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
I mean, maybe, probably.
Yeah, nothing that where it's like, oh yeah, it's obviously green screen, but there's somewhere it's like maybe that could be it. Like there's that one shot of Anya Taylor-Joy like in front of that grate and like flames blow by her, and that's like a sort of uncanny feeling to it, but it also looks awesome at the same time.
Yeah, but I am so down for this because Fury Road. I mean, anybody watching, if you haven't seen Fury Road, I mean, it's just one of the definitely one of the best action movies ever made. Just about, I would say, the best Mad Max. The only competition for me personally really is Road Warrior.
Yeah,
and yeah, I cannot wait to see more of the post-apocalyptic adventure that George Miller has in store with Furiosa.
Well, I mean, rewatching Fury Road, I was like, oh, that's a nod to Road Warrior, or that's a nod to Thunderdome. Like, there's so many other nods to the past three in that film. I'm really excited to see where Furiosa kind of slots in terms of, and like where other nods are going to come in for that film too.
Oh, so. that reminds me also, because a lot of people have pointed this out at the beginning of the trailer. It mentions it's 45 years into the future, which which as people point out, wait a minute, that doesn't line up with the timeline of the original Mad Max, because that's more society on the brink. And then Road Warrior, you get that's when you're finally post-apocalyptic. Yeah. So which means because that the timeline doesn't line up, which means Tom Hardy's age does not line up with Mel Gibson's in the original, which means George Miller has confirmed. We could mark it down. It is now set in stone that the fan theory that the Vero kid in Fury Road is, that's who Mad Max is. That is now confirmed, 100%.
Oh, so wait.
Oh, you hadn't heard that about that fan theory?
No.
After Fury Road came out, there was a fan theory that kind of emerged that people, a lot of people suspected that Hardy, he was not actually playing Max, the same character that Mel Gibson did. That he was actually an adult version of the feral kid, and he had taken on his childhood hero's identity.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of been circulating around, and I remember when I first heard that, I was a little bit skeptical, but the more I thought about it, it's like, oh yeah, man, that's like, this would be so rad if that actually turned out to be true. And then with this whole timeline thing, it's like, oh, is that Miller kind of drifting in that direction? I mean, he was actually asked about that in an interview. He did deny at the time, but then he was kind of presented with some of what a lot of the fan theorists were pointing to as indications that the feral kid, that's who Hardy was. And he kind of reacted like, oh, that's well thought out. I mean, and his, I don't have this verbatim, but his response was something like, well, if you see it, then it's true, or see it, then it's there, something like that.
I mean, headcanon's a powerful thing. So, I mean,
yes.
Yeah, that works. Lewis here says, I think you're thinking of the editor, Dawson, the editor of the movie where she hasn't edited one movie, but she did receive an award of some kind. That may be it. That's probably the story that I'm thinking of. But yeah, man, that movie just looks awesome. I love the fact that George Miller just continues to just pursue this Mad Max world and continue to bring us that aesthetic. And it's just awesome.
Exciting, yeah.
I watched through Fury Road with my father-in-law this past summer, and we were watching, and we just the whole time we're just like, holy cow, this is just incredible.
It's just so, I mean, the stunt work in that is just
impeccable.
I mean, it's the kind of action movie where you watch it wondering, like, how did nobody get killed making this?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it from start to finish, it is a straight up damn near adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it's nonstop. And that's the great thing about it, is that, like, you want pacing, right? But at the same time, in something like this, there's no time to stop. You kind of put in the shoes of the characters, where in a post-apocalyptic world, there's no resting. You're constantly trying to survive and figure things out and to fight your way out of dangerous situations. It's a very immersive type of adrenaline rush, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. And the villain, and he's going to be back in this, the villain in Fury Road, Joe, who was played, by the way, by Hugh Keys-Byrne, who was Toe Cutter in the original Mad Max. So,
yes.
And was going to be George Miller's Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
But right. You talk about like how metal this goes. I mean, it's like, his intro when they charge off, to retrieve, the wives. I mean, he's bringing this whole battalion out there of war boys out there. With he's got the guys on the drums. He's got the dude with the Doof Warrior with the flamethrower guitar. I mean, how do you, like you said, it's like, this is like, it's going as metal as you could possibly go with it.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Droga asked, do I need to watch the others before I watch it? I would say they're all pretty, they're all pretty standalone, I would say.
Yeah.
All the Mad Max movies.
I mean, the first three are obviously very catered towards the Mel Gibson incarnation of Max Rockatoxy. So it really, you can watch that and then jump into Fury Road and even like make your own judgment call. But I would say yes and no, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just want to see the film on its own merits, then just watch Fury Road. If you want to get like a collective idea of this world, then I'd say watch Mad Max Fury Road, the Thunderdome. Yeah,
you could pretty much just jump in with any. Because what was the order I watched them? I think I did watch them chronologically originally before I got to Fury Road, but you could just jump into Fury Road and just not be lost at all.
Right.
Yeah. Very, very true. And with that, let's get into the last trailer we need to watch. Lewis here says, who will be the composer for this new Mad Max? That's Tom Holkenborg or Junkie XL.
Right.
So
yes, and of course, scoring on Rebel Moon, and I have yet to hear a Junkie score that does not just get my blood flowing, my heart racing. So and
the fact that he's as busy as he is, and he's consistently good as he is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was even his beat for the trailer. I think he even did the music for the trailer there.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah, that's just awesome.
Yeah,
But with
the trailer was tits.
It's pretty great. And speaking of trailers, let's get to our last one. This is one of the most anticipated game trailers of the past, how many years? How long have people been waiting for GTA 6?
At least the last 2 to 3 years.
I've seen people, put on social media say this is how old I was when GTA 5 came out, and then here is how old I am now. So that indicates, the time span.
There was one where it showed buying GTA 5. Sorry, you need to have an adult with you to buy this game. And this is buying GTA 6, and it's just like someone like with gray hair.
Okay. Fun trivia for you guys. When I worked at GameStop, one of the last launches I did was Grand Theft Auto 5. Without question, Grand Theft Auto 5 was the biggest launch I've ever had to work. Bigger than Destiny, bigger than Call of Duty, bigger than any other mainline AAA title. Grand Theft Auto 5 was without question the biggest launch of the time at the time. I wholeheartedly anticipate Grand Theft Auto 6 to be as big, if not bigger.
Dang. Yeah. That's insane.
100%. Yeah.
It says, oh, yes, Florida Simulator is coming. Hey, that's fair. Let's watch this, shall we? I haven't seen this yet. I've been waiting to watch this. So let's give it a watch.
You haven't muted.
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
Bad luck, I guess.
There was a girl I knew. She said she cared about me. She tried to make my world.
I still remember how controversial Grand Theft Auto was in its early days.
Grand Theft Auto was still controversial.
Yeah, but that's especially at launch. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To have each other apart, but love is a long, long road. Your love is a long, long
Well, look who's back. The only way we're gonna get through this is by sticking together, being a team. Trust?
Trust.
I love the lyrics of that song are long, long road. It's a long, long road. Hunter, I was looking for your question. I didn't see your question. I didn't see it at all. I don't know what question you're referring to.
You know what else would have been perfect or
Biggs
for this would have been I'm Highway to Hell.
Yeah, true. Biggs, you're saying Florida Man the game, basically. That's very, very true. Hope you're doing good, Biggs.
Okay. The only disappointing thing about this trailer is confirming the date for it. When I saw that coming in 2025, I was like, no, but I get it. I get it. I completely get it. And I'm like, all right, I can wait. I can wait a year.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up playing Grand Theft Auto except for at like friends' houses. And I don't have a next gen console. So it's like, I don't know if I'll be able to play this.
Yeah, Phil, Anthony Beltry is actually kind of agreeing with your earlier comment. He says GTA 6 is going to be the highest selling game of all time. It's definitely going to do gangbusters.
One of them. It's gonna be one of them. I can echo that sentence. It's gonna be one of them. I don't know about the highest selling game of all time. We'll see about that. But
it's absolutely going to do gangbusters.
Yeah, 100%. Especially since they're going back to Vice City. Oh my god! Like Grand Theft Auto Vice City was one of the first Grand Theft Auto games I ever played, and then like going from Vice City to San Andreas, I was hooked immediately. I didn't really like 4 all that much. 5, I was like, all right, Los Santos again, but like 4 and 5 was when I kind of fell off of it. But the fact that they're taking this one back to Vice City makes me happy. The fact that the main characters are a crime duo, a love interest, like I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like I'm very interested to see how their story plays out. I'm very curious to see if that cutscene is actually quite late in the game, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm I've been a fan of Grand Theft Auto since the PlayStation 2 days. One of the first games we ever owned was Vice City. So yeah, I'll happily play this on launch. I'll pre-order it for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of going with Brad here, saying that I wouldn't be surprised at all if it becomes one of the best-selling game of all time. I mean, especially with how anticipated it is, how open world it is. I mean, my goodness, there's not as much of an aversion to stuff about Grand Theft Auto as there used to be back in the more early 2000s or even close to 2010.
No, it was having congressional hearings back then.
Yeah. Nowadays, like, people don't blink an eye at it. I mean,
yeah,
it's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it could be. Big Shoe saying, like the long hate. Hey, appreciate it. It's getting thick. Can't wear any of my hats anymore.
Is that your brother? Or,
that is my brother. That's my little brother.
Okay, I was.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell the resemblance.
I will. Yeah, same last name. I was wondering, is there a family connection there?
Yeah, he's my little brother. He was with us a little bit ago, about a month ago. He was staying with us for a bit. He's back at home now. Yeah, it's the little bro. Got Luis Jose here saying GTA 6, Call of Duty, Minecraft fighting again for top selling game of all time.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
By the way, I just thought of this too when we were talking about the everybody doing like the pictures of like, here's how old I was for 5, and now here's how old I am for 6. And yeah, you're both be kind of the kind of more pessimistic about like about the whole Snyderverse conversation. Because it just popped in my head. It's like, I think if that does happen, everybody should do that. Like, put up the pictures. Like, here's how old when we got the last one. Here's how old I was when we finally got the conclusion of the story.
Yeah, how old it was when Snyder Cut came out. How old it was when. Yeah,
that's and I'm just starting to get some gray whiskers in my beard. So I Warner Brothers, everybody involved, I would prefer not to have an entirely gray beard by that point. So
I'm gonna have to look through some old photos of mine and see if I can find any from when I worked at GameStop at the time. That way I can be like, this is how old I was when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and here's how old I'm going to be when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Because
what year did Grand Theft Auto 5 come out again?
That's 2013.
Yep, 2013. 10 years ago this past October,
so
I think.
Yeah, so 12-year gap, yeah.
Yeah,
they don't have like a full date for 6. It just says 2025. So they're probably not going to implement that until
I was a sophomore in high school when that came out.
I was a sophomore in college. Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right. Yep. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Anthony Belcher makes a good point here, saying, I'll be shocked if the Wolverine game drops in 2025 to compete against GTA 6. If they do that, they'll get left in the dirt.
Look, I mean, this year alone has had some pretty solid bangers. I mean, you got Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You had, Spider-Man 2 just came out like about 2 months ago. So like they could space them out. I could see Wolverine dropping. I could see either one of them dropping in the spring or fall, and still both of them just being super successful.
I think a lot of that depends on how open world the Wolverine game is, because with how open world Grand Theft Auto is, you can be playing that for a while, for a long while. And so if you're, putting out the Wolverine game, the question is, how long after Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out do you wait?
Right.
Or do you put it out before and then expect to see a huge drop off in people playing the game when GTA 6 comes out?
Yeah, well, Droga's got a real winner of a comment here.
It's going to outsell Superman Legacy. I mean, it's an IP that appeals to people outside of comic books. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, when it comes to like video games in general, it's just inequatable. Like,
yeah,
depending on how many millions of copies you sell, that's the defining factor of whether or not just how successful your game is. And honestly, like Grand Theft Auto, people have been talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 for years, because for a long time Rockstar Studios was just pumping so much in GTA Online. People were just like, okay, this is cool, where's the next one? Where's the next one? Where's the next one? Yeah. Last year, the part of it leaked. Like, a few things about this game leaked, and Rockstar was quick to be like, no, we're going to get your ass, and it's going to be grass. You leak this shit again, you're done. So the fact that matter of fact, this trailer was actually supposed to come out yesterday. Someone tried to leak it, and Rockstar was just like, nah, fuck it, just release it.
Like, might as well.
Everybody as well.
Yeah.
Smart on them for doing it too. So
yeah. Again, strike when the iron's hot, right? That's what you got to do. When the iron's hot, you put it out instead of just waiting. And
strike while the iron's hot. Do what Warner Brothers doesn't.
Exactly.
Exactly. Learn from movie studios' mistakes. There are plenty to learn from.
They won't. This.
No one.
What's it? Droga. It's like, I got one here about Spider-Man 2 really just came and went. I don't know if I'd say that.
It made a big splash.
It did.
I mean, I do know there
for a
was
while.
some controversy in the final suit for Miles Morales, which does, in my opinion, look like hot garbage. But I mean, that's the only negative thing that I've seen about it.
Have we got? By the way, it's like, have we got any kind of timeline on the Rebel Moon video game?
I'm pretty sure Netflix
I haven't heard the developments on that.
For that.
Well, because that, I mean, because I asked you about that on Twitter once, Dawson. You said, yeah, you when you visited the set, you didn't get any kind of indication there was a video game in development. So even like a set visit, fan contest winner did not get everything revealed.
I mean, they had hinted at the idea of the universe expanding, and at the time, I just kind of figured like, oh well, not video games, like TV shows, because they'd already announced
comics.
like spin-offs, and yeah, comics. I imagine like a prequel comic because most things get that nowadays. But yeah, video game was not something that I even imagined being possible.
Oh, video game! It's like I need Darian Blood X. I need to be blasting away with that giant ass laser cannon.
I need in that Rebel Moon game for there to be a created character mode.
To plug your guy into it. Yeah.
I need to be able to make a Zeeverfett who is a Ronin with a molten samurai sword. That is what I need to make, and then I will die happy.
That was a pretty good design you put out there that you won the contest with. So, and how many winners were there all told? There was like, I think it was like 10 or 12 of you guys.
There was 10.
10? Okay.
Well,
okay.
There ended up being 9 because one of them wasn't able to come, but 10 winners.
Yep.
But yeah, and little shameless self plug here. You can actually get a print of that design at DJWArt.com. Go check that out today. It's nearing Christmas time, nearing Rebel Moon season. So
That's right.
There's 2 different prints. So you got options, and also got a Korra print, which is pretty exciting.
Oh, that I saw a good. There's supposed to be a Belisarius one in the works.
Yeah, spin-off of Rebel Moon.
And Droga has one here. It's like, wait, I do not currently have a beard, Droga. I just shaved the other day, but
so you lied.
No, when I have a beard, which I try to keep to a minute. Well, the thing about it is, like, I shave like 4 days later, it's back. So it's a pain in the butt. But
no wonder Rockstar taking a long time making GTA 6. They were researching and studying in Florida.
Damn Skippy.
I mean, with all the stuff that we saw in there, I mean, yeah, you could get distracted by a lot.
Oh, Droga. I'm sorry, Droga just keeps. He's on a roll here.
Red line, just like James.
It's like James Scott.
Oh man.
But with the going back to the Rebel Moon art contest, this is also one thing, especially since I after him sharing the charity event, I guess Zach, William and I, he is now aware of our existence. So, Zach, if you're watching, when you do these fan contests in the future, can you do any that don't involve necessarily artwork and maybe more like short stories or something? Because my skill lies with the written word.
Well, it's fun because like I had submitted something for the Zack Snyder's Justice League like cover
poster contest. Yeah.
Yep. Although like the one I designed was very last second. It was very shoddy. It was not. But so the fact that I was actually not going to do the Rebel Moon one. I was just going to pass on it because I've never had any like luck with art contests in the past. Even though I've been a decent artist my entire life, there's always like stuff that happened and it was like but then I think it was Prakash who had convinced like, no, you got to submit something. It's like, okay, yeah. And then I did. And
look what happened.
Exactly. And one of the coolest experiences I ever had, got to stay in the London Hotel in downtown, like Beverly Hills, just down the street from a movie studio.
Shit. I remember when you sent me that picture, I was like, yeah, send that in.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Like how long was how long were you there all told? Like getting there?
I was in LA for 2 days. So I flew in early on that Friday. I was the first artist there, and I just kind of got to chill and hang out and had a steak dinner that night because Netflix. I'm not going to share too much, but like they had footed the bill for food.
Okay.
And then next day I met Aaron for breakfast, Aaron Bailey.
Yeah.
And actually we're gonna be watching Rebel Moon here when it comes out on the 22nd, which is exciting.
Wait, is he coming up to you?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Or at least that's the plan right now.
Okay. Very cool.
But then met Aaron, we got to meet all the other artists, and then the whole trip happened and all the people we met were there.
Yeah, and you see the pictures and they all look like dwarves compared to Dawson.
I mean, yeah. It's There was one guy who was around my same size. Like I can't remember his name, but that was just. Again, I just want those pictures back so bad. A bunch of videos and pictures, and a bunch of selfies with certain people, and pictures of things on the set. And
soon,
back.
Soon,
Very soon. I need to do a Dorian Blood Axe fan poster.
You should.
Yeah, I don't know why, but something about that. I was almost kind of expecting that he would have dreadlocks in it. Dorian Blood. It just something about like the early character descriptions that just seemed like that would be like a good. I mean, the character is named Blood Axe, so you want the character to look as metal as you can.
Yeah.
So and there you go. It's like dreadlocks, face paint, BFG, war armor. Yeah, they went all out.
He looks freaking awesome.
Yeah,
say that.
So and that's another thing I've been entertaining too, because we've only seen the Blood Axe siblings, and I've kind of wondered, are they part of some larger tribe or warrior sect? And you're talking about like expanding the universe, like who else could you add to it? And like one I thought about, imagine if you had like Michael Jai White as part of like the Blood Axe clan. Like
this is not coming from anything that I learned on set. This is just my own personal theory. I feel like that the Blood Axe siblings are a splinter off from I feel like there's different branches of resistance against the Imperium, and they're some of the last remaining of one of the more violent and more proactive ones.
Yeah,
and at least that's what I think anyway.
No, I can get the sense from that from the what we see in the trailers.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of times in rebellious stuff like that, the more active and the more violent branches tend to be the ones that are targeted first by the powers that be to try to squash them.
Yeah,
So
which again, the name Blood Axe. Yeah. So and did now I'm sure you can't reveal this either. Did he actually carry an axe on set?
I didn't. I actually didn't see him.
Okay.
So he was done. A lot of people were done.
Oh yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, like Ray was posting like pictures of like the Broadway thing he was doing with Sam Jackson a little bit like at the time that you guys were doing the set visit. So yeah,
so that was
a lineup.
A little disappointing, but then again, I say the word disappointing lightly because
I'm still curious about Charlie Hunnam as Kai, and it's like because everybody has commented on the rather obvious visual similarities to a certain Emerald Archer, and I'm curious, like would Zach be on the nose enough to have him fire a bow and arrow in this?
I personally think they're going for more because it was like a Scottish accent that he had.
Charlie Hunnam? Okay.
Yeah, so like I honestly feel like he's gonna be more of like a Scottish Han Solo, like a more wisecracking, because like the line he had in the trailer was like for a small fee, obviously, like
yeah, he sounded a little bit Irish to me actually.
Yeah, I think Irish is more accurate. I think you're right, but yeah, no.
When that first fight scene with Korra too, that was interesting. Like seeing more of that in the second trailer, because when we got the first teaser, which teaser I use the term lightly for that one. The teaser was like selling us on the universe, and the first trailer that was selling us on Child of Fire specifically as its own movie. That first fight scene where she's taking on the dudes with the blasters and she's slashing them up with her blade, which I mean obviously you can infer where she gets the name I've come onto the stream tonight with. Initially I was thinking they were inside of a mine when that was happening, and then seeing the second trailer, it's like, oh no, it's like they're inside of a barn. So yeah, I'm also that makes me just more curious, like to see just the environment we're going to be seeing on the planet Veld, on all these other planets that are going to be featured. And God, the football when Zach made the appearance on like the during like Monday Night Football, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you saw him, it's like, oh, I'm so excited to share with everybody this universe. Come check it out. And they literally like step from it, transitions from a football stadium to this other planet. I was like, oh, this is Velt, and these are the rings of Mara, and there's Jimmy off, in the distance there. So I've kind of commented a lot. He, especially over these last 5 years or so, he really has kind of become his own marketing machine.
He really has. He knows how to work audiences. He knows how to get attention for his movies, and he's using that to his advantage, as he should. Right? It's fantastic. He has a lot of pull.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously he had to do it in a very unique way, during his days of teasing things on Vero, but now that it's not involving all this cloak and dagger, he still found ways to adapt that approach to a more mainstream marketing approach to a big blockbuster, and that's been really it's really fun to see that unfold.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, and where we usually like to cut things off.
And Drogo wants a J.K. Simmons Railroad spinoff, by the way.
J.K. Okay. J.K. Simmons in anything, honestly, is.
He's look at that picture. He's jacked as hell.
Yeah, I mean, J.K. Simmons is awesome. But with that, any final thoughts before we depart for today, Phil?
Not particularly, no.
Just a lot of trailers, a lot of stuff coming out.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good
stuff. Brad, how about you?
I can't wait for Rebel Moon, and I'm definitely with Phil on can't wait for Aquaman 2 either. We're the Aquaman boys on here.
Yeah, that's right. Aquaman 2 in just 2 weeks.
That's right.
Rebel Moon, yeah, that's right.
There we go. Exciting stuff. And as always, we appreciate you guys all in the chat tuning in with us every week. I know there's some weeks where it gets kind of busy, especially in the holiday season where shows don't happen as consistently. But we appreciate you guys tuning in and laughing with us, talking about these fun, nerdy things, watching these cool trailers. And once again, be sure to go check out everybody on social media. We appreciate Allie from Super Hive coming in and talking with us today, taking some time out of her schedule. Also, be sure to go check out some prints at DJWArt.com. Again, for the Christmas season, if you have a nerd in your life, if you are that very nerd, or if you have other nerds in your life and they need some wall art, go check that out. We got plenty of things there, and I'm adding more stuff pretty much every week at this point. And go check out some cool t-shirts from Zeeverfett's TeePublic store. Also, go check out the Eternal Night with Phil, as well as DC United, his new YouTube channel, and Brad on the
Sci-Fi Center.
Sci-Fi Center.
You find me Sci-Fi Center streaming, and you find my writing on Kung Fu Kingdom and on Screen Rant.
Absolutely. I don't know why I blanked on William's show name.
We'll probably have a good laugh about that tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, William. But with that, once again, we appreciate you all for tuning in, and we will see you all probably next week.
Hopefully.
Later, everybody.